Hi everybody. Today, here I want to show you some singing bowls, also called as the meditation bowls or Tibetan bowls. These bowls usually are made by an alloy of 7 different metals, right? Although they look made of bronze, right? The typical Tibetan bowls are usually made of 7 metals, but you have some cheaper ones of 5 metals, some more expensive ones of 9, which are less frequent to find, and some very rare ones and quite more expensive that have an alloy of 11 metals. That's what they say. And you have all kinds of sizes and shapes of singing bowls or meditation bowls. Usually this is the shape, you see. Shapes can vary a little bit, but always it always looks like a bowl, yes? So you can see this one, for example, is a Tibetan bowl. Okay, I bought this one in Nepal in a Tibetan refuge camp, and listen how it sounds. You see the vibration lasts very long, yeah? This one is 7 metals. They say that the singing bowls are used for some kind of a therapy or healing, and there are many blogs and sites about that, and it has never actually been scientifically proved whether it's true or whether it's false. But many people do really some kind of therapies and treatments with this, right? It's supposed that each different bowl has a sound in a different frequency, and that frequency is good for curing certain illnesses, usually psychological illnesses like I don't know, something to do with the anger or fears or those kind of more spiritual healing. Okay, so this is a Tibetan bowl. This one is also Tibetan. I bought it in the same refuge camp. So I'll stop it here. I bought this one in China, in front of a Lama temple. This one doesn't last so long. The quality is not as good, although it's very pretty because it has some Tibetan inscriptions around. Yes, it looks quite mystical. However, this one is machine made. That's why the quality is lower. And probably this one is on just 5 metals. So I paid this one more expensive than all the others only because I bought it in China. The others I bought in Nepal, and where there are many Tibetans, and I can buy much better quality for a much lower price. So this is, I paid more for it, but it's not as good. You can see how neatly made and polished it is. This is because it's machine made, while typically and traditionally all other singing bowls are usually made by hand. Okay, they hammer them, they temper them by hand, not by machine. So you can see, actually, if you look at it from near, you can see actually it's not perfectly smooth as if it had been produced industrially. Okay, this is a Nepali one, Nepali industry. You see here, you can see all the marks of hammering, yeah? This is probably the best quality of all. And this is 9 metals. This is an alloy of 9 metals. And it's the heaviest of all. Also, when talking about quality of singing bowls, the thickness of the metal, of the material, is very relevant, right? Because the more material it's got, it's gonna be more expensive, right? And this is, although it's smaller than all the rest, than all the others, it's quite heavier than all the others. However, look, the sound is very beautiful, but it doesn't last so long, right? You see? Very beautiful sound, but it doesn't remain vibrating for such a long time as this one, for example, that is Tibetan. You see, I just touched it and it still sounds, still vibrates. This one has a very beautiful sound. However, look at this. Look, without hitting it, just listen to the vibration. You see, I'm just passing this wood around the edge, and you can hear the vibration. I can even do it quite louder if I want. I'm not hitting, I'm just passing it around. And this is also used for meditation and for healing purposes, for those who believe that this has any healing purposes, which I really doubt. But definitely I do think there is something to do with this and meditation. So you've seen this one is, oh, this is a Tibetan one. This is a very special one because this one is the only one that is really ancient or quite old. Yeah, this one I bought at an importer from Tibetan bowls from Tibet. This one is 90 years old, so this one is even prior to the invasion of China in Tibet. So Tibet was still independent at the time this one was produced. That's why I bought it and I like it so much. Although it's quite rusty, you see, has many marks of tarnish. I had to use lemon. I had to use even ketchup to clean the tarnish away. So although it's quite battered, I like it because of it. It's quite ancient. Has a nice sound. Look. It's quite good yet. Still sounding. So, to tell you something else between the Tibetan bowls and the Nepali bowls, I have found that the sound of the Tibetan bowls is somewhat better. But the Nepali bowls, the quality is much better in the sense that after years they don't get tarnished as do the Tibetan ones. Okay, so the Nepalese, they follow the same process, right? Because Nepal has a huge Tibetan community of refugees, and they took the same technology to make these bowls, but they use better quality in the materials, right? So these will always last longer than the ones made in Tibet. So that's all for about the Tibetan bowls. You can, for example, how much did I pay for this? I bought this in Nepal. The most expensive of all in Nepal, the Nepali one that is very heavy and thick, I paid for it $20. No, I paid less. I paid $16 or $15. And for these Tibetan ones, I bought in the refugee camp, I paid for these $12 or $13 each. Okay, so that's very, very cheap. This Chinese one is much worse in quality, right? I paid for this one $25 in Beijing, right? But you will never be able to find such good quality and such good price in Beijing as if you go to Nepal. So that's all.